Welcome to another episode of
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy.
I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my bestie,
Cheri Hardman. We decided to do something.
Yeah?
Andy Vargo and I will do anything for attention.
Yes, we will.
I'll tell you what I did. My nails, my hair, and my nails, my hair.
You gotta give yourself credit for all the things you do.
I'll tell you what I did earlier, later.
Now I don't know when it'll happen.
Earlier. And we're here to discuss my nails, my hair, and
Being the best at no matter what it is that you're doing. Now I don't know when it'll happen. Cheri, hi there. How are you?
good. How are you?
I am pretty damn good.
Well, good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I've had a very productive day, and then I took a little break right before this.
Oh, don't start me on that.
Don't start that again. It's good to see you. I feel like we barely talked all week long.
I know.
Which makes for a great episode.
I know. When we don't talk that much, I'm always like, okay, is he busy? Did I, because sometimes I also think, did I say something that like irritated
Oh my God.
him,
I've wondered that sometimes too. Like it's natural for your head to go there, like, oh shit, what was that last thing? Was that the wrong reaction? Or that wasn't what she was looking for.
This doesn't seem bright enough, but I'm in my underwear, so I'm afraid to stand up and turn this other lamp on. Do this.
Oh God, I like those underwears you got there.
Oh, the lamp doesn't work, so never mind. That's why it's not on. And I knew you didn't see my under. I know you could all see my double chin though, because I could see the screen. It was two chins and a notebook.
That sounds like a
porn title or something.
Yeah, something. Interesting kind of movie. Oh my goodness. So Cheri, oh my goodness, where to even start? What's going on with you this week? What have you done? What have you got going on? I know we got a fun show coming up on Monday.
That's my big focus right now, is that I am excited about that show because, I haven't actually played Unmentionables myself.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about what words you're going to put up for me, but yeah. Well, because, when I originally made the word, so I'm just going to explain it because I'm sure there are a lot of people that have not seen Unmentionables. But we have words that the comedian's not allowed to say, but the comedian doesn't know what the words are. And if you say one of those words, you have to spin the wheel and do the consequence. So when I first made the words, I made just very generic words, not like the or and, but like
up, down.
Up and down, yeah. So
and they're easy to remember for the audience, which is great.
Right. So I think I did a really good job of making them that words that someone might say, but I don't go like, okay, here's Andy's set. What word is he going to say? Like, I'm going to give him this word. I know
it's really tricky because I was thinking about which words to come up with. And I'm like, oh, because I know your sets, but I also know some sets you might say certain words a lot and other sets you might not. And so, yeah, I've got some good thoughts. And also, I just want to acknowledge, because people don't know this, you went to open mics and watched set after set and tallied words to get ideas of what were common words in sets. This wasn't just willy-nilly.
Right. I don't do many things willy-nilly, actually.
No, you don't.
I mean, I like me some Willie and I like me some Nilly, but
Well, who doesn't?
So anyway, I'm excited about that. And we've got some people on there, like an interesting mix of people.
Yeah.
We have two people that have played it. I think Mike's played it multiple times, at least twice.
And I know Reese has played it before. Adam
played it once.
That was fun.
But then we have two people, Drew Lopez and Stephen Ryan. And Stephen Ryan's pretty much a baby comic.
Okay.
So it's going to be really interesting. I love that kid for some reason. Like, You know how you're just like all of a sudden like somebody.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
part of it is because he reminds me of Noah. He's
Mm.
got that young kind of,
Yeah. Like sometimes just a vibe or an aura or
yeah,
whatever
and a little bit of
words
kind
you
of
want to
curly
use
hair
for
and
it.
about the same kind of coloring, and so um, he doesn't know that I've adopted him yet. So guess he's gonna find out. But it's my birthday party too, so I'm gonna bring maybe not cupcakes. Maybe we'll have bathroom brownies this time. I don't know. Instead of bathroom cupcakes.
Right.
So
Oh my God. That could be fun.
yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Might not be at work on Tuesday. Just saying.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun celebration and a fun show. I know. I'm like, oh crap, I have pressure now. I have to come up with some words ahead of time. It's fun though. I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about it like throughout the day, the last few days. So putting a lot of thought into it.
Okay, well, that'll be fun.
Hmm.
So there's that. And then last night we were doing a cut video. Dave and I always look at the cut listings to see if there are any videos that I qualify for. And there
Yeah.
hasn't been one for a while. Then there was this one. It was for a married couple. And I'm like, he's not going to like this, but I'm signing us up. So
Nice. Yeah. I haven't done any of those yet. I kind of stopped replying because the ones that I thought I fit for it, I didn't get picked for. And I thought, well, I'm not going to beg for it,
right.
but
Well,
cool video.
sometimes you think you're doing it all the way until almost there, and then they change their mind. So
Yeah.
I'm worried right now. I'm going to have to go to the bathroom. So
Oh, okay.
we'll see if I
Well, we'll see how this episode goes.
can. But it
So,
was fun, and Tamber Massman was there,
oh, cool.
and she's going to be hosting our Pride show next month.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun to run into her. I love her. She's going to do a really great job. I can.
It's kind of neat when you know people and you just start seeing people around town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have
Great.
you been up to, and what do you got going on?
Well, today I had a very productive day. I feel like I'm always saying this, but there's always a ton to do. And I had some things that took over needing immediate attention the last week or so between different things I have my hands in, both with the day job and business and regular life and all that. So other stuff has continued to pile up, and also it's like, oh crap, I still got to get this crossed off and that crossed off. So I got some done yesterday. Today I had a really good block of like 3 hours to just sit there, deal with some email things I needed to take care of. Then I went through and the big thing was getting my budget completely updated through the end of the year. I normally do that. For y'all who haven't heard this before, I have an Excel spreadsheet that is my budget for every day of the year, and it's projected income, projected, expenses, and I have everything on there from taking a road trip. So here's a couple $100 to plan for that. Here's a birthday that I'm going to need to spend money on, graduation, weddings, whatever. So I throw all that in here, and that way I can plug in, like if my check is less or more, I'm like, oh, in 4 weeks, if I don't make a little more money, I'm going to go negative. And based on the current thing, and I always under budget income and over budget expenses so that theoretically it gives me the worst case scenario. But last year I couldn't get that done at the beginning of the year because I didn't have a car. I didn't know if I was going to have a car payment or what expenses were going to be around that. There were so many unknown variables in a few different areas of life. So I just was getting it a couple months done at a time. And so now that everything's settled down and that's all behind me, I just sat down and I just went through January. So that felt really good. But yesterday I did something different and new that is out of character for me. And I went to the climbing gym.
Really?
Yes, and I actually
With
climbed.
someone?
Yes, with 3 of my friends from the Parkway, where we meet up, and that we've met there and hung out there and have had great conversations. There's bar friends where you just never get in anything very deep, and you just always like, oh, how's your beer? What'd you do today? That kind of thing. But these are folks we've had some pretty good conversations. And they've all climbed there a lot. I've never climbed, and one of them was like a month ago. It's like, Andy, what are you doing next Tuesday? I want to have coffee with you. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, at the climbing gym. I'm like, I know what you're trying to get me to do. And just turned out that this was the first chance where all the schedules aligned. And I tell you, I am feeling it today. And the first one that I went up, there's some freaking tall, it's up there. And you get the funky shoes on, you get strapped in with the harness. And I climbed up the first one, and I'm not a heights person. So, that's the one thing. And then there's more of me to lift. Like when you look at a lot of these people who are rock climbing, they're like little like otters and weasels and twinks and just scurrying up the wall. And I'm like, holy shit. So I get up there, and then I can feel between my upper body strength not working out enough, that my hands are like,
Right.
feeling a little shaky, plus the height. And the way the wall is, there's all these different color like pegs, and you pick which route you're going to do. So you can't just put your feet down and feel for something, because you have to make sure you're on the right color to do it the right way. And that means you have to look down, because if you're looking up, like, it's okay, but then at some point you have to look down, and then you have to trust letting go while they lower you down. Anyway, it was a whole thing. And
Wow.
I want to say I did 4 or 5 climbs. We had a little, we had a couple hours to play with, and there was 4 of us, and it was fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again. I want to do it sooner than later, because if I wait too long, I'll have just gotten comfortable with being up that high.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm going to go rock climbing every weekend or become like that kind of person, but I could see doing it, a few times a year or something. But I definitely need to do it at first a little bit more, just to stay comfortable. So
Wow, that's a big deal. Like, I'm proud of you, because overcoming heights is a big deal.
yeah, it was. And I like got down
Just
there.
that in itself.
Yeah, it was weird, because I got down, and how when you do something that's scary, you kind of feel that like shakiness and adrenaline, and I feel that, and like, do you want to do another one? I was like, not yet, because you just feel a little weak. And I wasn't, I was bad, because when I owned my house, I had gotten comfortable going up on the roof, and it was single level in the back, but on the front side it was downhill, so it was 2 level. And I had gotten comfortable walking around up there, even on the side that was up 2 level, but I wouldn't have felt comfortable getting on the roof from that side.
Right.
But that's been 7 years since I've dealt with that, and so that.
Well, and just getting used to one thing doesn't mean that you're okay with doing something else that's involved. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think even back then, I don't think I would have been comfortable with this. So
okay, this is a terrible thing for me to do, but
I'm going to
really have
monologue
to go to the bathroom. So yeah, I'm just going to stop the video and mute it and hurry and
okay.
Go for it. I know you.
Meanwhile, I'm going to tell a story about rock climbing.
Wait, how do I stop my video? There we go. Bye.
As you can see, this is my friend Cheri. Cheri is having a bodily function right now and using the restroom. So I am going to be filling the time, which I'm sure this will get edited out, right, Cheri? Anyway, but for you guys that are listening, rock climbing was fun. I have to thank Deanna and Chris and Mo for putting it all together, for letting me go join them as their guest at the gym. Edgeworks was a fun spot. There were, right when I walked in, this was the thing too. When I walked in, the first thing you see is the tallest of the tall walls. And I was like, oh my gosh, part of my mindset was to say, I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to go the whole way. I don't have to go the whole way. But then there were the starter walls that were seriously still tall, but not, maybe like 2/3 of the height of the big wall, maybe a little bit closer. I can't tell. But even when I did the courses I was on, there was a couple points where it was like, I don't have to go all the way to the top. Just doing this is pushing. And I was like, no, you need to at least try. If you can't get there because of a physical thing, or, sometimes you can't figure it out, and then you've got to try again. But I just had to force myself through it. And kind of like Cheri's forcing herself through the potty break right now. So yeah, this is fun. I'm loving this picture of Cheri that's on our Zoom, by the way. The red glasses always do it. The red glasses just is trademark Cheri, and that look on her face, it just says like, hey, I think I am about to fart, or I just farted and scooted away, or I'm up to something, or I'm having a funny thought in my head. And the cheetah print, I mean, come on, that's just amazing. You gotta love that picture. And the lighting is really good. The lighting is really good in that picture. What I always appreciate about Cheri is that every time I see her, she always has her hair is just a little different color. And I like the color in this one. And so that's fun. I don't know if she can hear me in there going tinkle tinkle, but if you can hear me, Cheri, I love the color of your hair in this particular picture. It looks good today too, by the way. When you get back, we'll all be able to see that. But I wish with this picture, and maybe in the full picture you can see it, but it just leaves me enough curiosity to wonder what's at the bottom of that string. Like right there, there's a little bit of string like on the necklace, like there's got to be a pendant. Maybe it's one of your magnificent magnability things. But that makes me, or maybe it's one of your crystals. Cheri's got all the crystals for health and prosperity and good luck and love and life, and she's a crystal gal. She lives in a crystal palace. That's Cheri for you. Boom, 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 boom. What else can I tell you? It also really brings out the color in your eyes. Your eyes look really good in that photo. And I don't know if it's because of what's in the background or just the lighting or what, but it is just right. And I can't remember if those are the same red glasses you have right now. Oh, there you are. Well, look at you.
Oh, I can kind of hear you talking about my glasses and
Showing your
stuff.
portrait. Well, welcome back to Scrutiny with
Thank
Cheri.
you. I'm so sorry. I'm always worried that I was going to have a bathroom emergency on stage.
Yeah.
That's never happened, but
Yeah. Don't you hate that when you like are on deck and then you're like, crap, I kind of have to go to the bathroom. And it's like, now I've got to push through. And at an open mic or something, it's not bad because it's, 4 or 5 minutes. But, when you're headlining, you're like, I got to go before I'm up there for 45 minutes or featuring for 20 or whatever. So,
okay.
so what's new with you? You did the cut video. You used the restroom.
I didn't go to work today, just mostly because we had Andrew out so late. We didn't get home till 11:30.
Yeah.
And then we ate dinner at 11:30.
Yeah.
Because we had only just eaten snacks that they had there. Because we got there at like 4:45.
Wow, that's a long. That
So
is
it was a long shoot, and so I just didn't feel right making him get up early in the morning. So
Well, and I know. Have you started a calendar yet? I feel like I'm more curious about how much longer you have to work.
no, I haven't. I don't know why not.
Which
I guess
is
it's
probably kind of nice to not be obsessed about it, actually,
right. Well, and my mood has lifted a lot. So, but I will tell you that I sit there at work and think, I don't want to do anything. I don't care. I'm not, I'm a horrible employee right now. Like if a kid needs help, of course I'm going to help him, but I'm not going to go
Right.
away. So it's unfortunate. Like if this is how I would have been when I started the job, I never would have kept this job.
Right. Yeah,
So,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, we're getting really close. I have some bookings in Portland in June.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. So I'll start branching out and going places, and
You
then
got a road trip coming up in the fall.
yeah, and then we got Dave and Andrew and I are going to Vegas around 2nd of July through the 2nd through the 6th. So we'll be there for 4th
Fun.
of July.
What am I going to do in July? Everybody's Joe and Tufan are leaving town for a month, and you're leaving town, and I better call Laura.
Go climb a rock. Do you think you'll ever do that again?
Oh yeah, I'll do it again. Yeah. I think that it's going to be interesting to think about if I ever do it outdoor, because that's a whole extra thing, right? Like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
it's also one of those things where you have to decide at what point do you invest in buying. You have to rent shoes for it, and that's like was $13, which wasn't bad because I didn't pay for the gym. I was a guest. But if I was going to do it and I was paying to go, plus I would have to make a choice about buying shoes or, you know, or paying every time to use them, depending on how much I'm doing it. So it's one of those things where, when you have other hobbies, you have to then say, well, where's the point where I decide this is going to be a hobby I'm going to continue to do and I'm going to spend
Right.
money on it.
Right. Have you ever seen that documentary about that guy that climbs the mountains with nothing? Like just
No,
his bare feet and everything? It's
goodness.
wild.
Wow.
I don't know what it's called or whatever, but check it out sometime because it's like, I don't even like, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff, but it
Yeah.
was interesting.
Well, and it was interesting because like with these, there's there's little things that you step on, and some are designed more for holding and some are more for your feet because there's not places to grip. But some of them, you pick, the course has little numbers on the bottom that tells you what they're rated, and it's like 5 through 11 or 12 or something like that. And
Mhm.
and and the rating has to do with how big or small the things are and how far apart they are and just the difficulty scale. But some of them I was like, what is the point of even putting that on there? That like doesn't even look like anything you could step on or grab a hold of, and
Right.
which is why they're more difficult. But
Yeah.
holy crap.
Wow.
So
Well, that makes me, don't you feel like proud of yourself that you tried something new and different?
I do. And I was giving them crap about like, I don't want to do this,
Right.
but it was really just that insecurity about the height and also physical abilities, because I don't view myself as, I don't go to the gym, I don't keep up. So I do know it's going to be challenging. But when something's challenging, like for me, it's like, why bother? Like, do I have to, but afterwards I was glad I did it. So,
Well, good.
and then, yeah.
Makes me want to challenge myself to do something new and different. Of course, it's not going to be anything athletic, but
Even just, when you're learning new technology, I mean, think about how many things you've had to learn since doing comedy that weren't even related to getting on stage. It's like, oh, I'm excited to get on stage. You're like, now I'm learning Eventbrite. Now I'm learning promotions. Now I'm editing podcasts to make it like all of these things are different ways that we're working our brain and that are challenges. And so sometimes it's that, okay, well, if I'm learning all these things in this area, maybe I should practice learning like if I'm going to do something different, is it going to be something musical or a puzzle or whatever it is, like,
right, or learning a language or
yeah. A lot of people have gotten into that with all the different apps and things you can do now.
I started doing that and then I fell off the wagon at some point. I don't know.
Well, it's tough if you don't have someone to speak it with who knows it better than you do, where you're not just saying book and table over and over again. Like, there's the book, there's the table. Like, that stops being fun. My Russian teacher in high school used to make fun of. He's like, these are the stupidest sentences. When are you ever going to need to say the stool is near the window? One of the things that I remember him making fun of, one of the questions in the book was, "Tu student ili studentka," which means, are you a boy student or a girl student? And this is like, I hate to say 30 years ago. I want to say 20 years ago, but holy crap, high school is further away than I would like to remember. And he was like, when are you ever going to ask anybody if they're a boy or a girl student? I was like, oh, Mr. Garrison, you have not gotten to the 2020s. Just wait. There will be a time and place.
Right. I got a little Nipsey over here at the door trying to get out. But that's what he gets for running in here when I came back in.
Oh, I have to tell you, speaking of Nipsey, speaking of dogs.
Yes.
I follow this dog rescue place on Instagram, and there was this adorable little dog. I don't even know what kind of dog. And I was like, they could be fun, and it was two dogs. It was like a mother and daughter. Like one was 2.5 and one was 9 months. And I feel like if I got a dog, I'd have to have two because I'm gone and I want them to not just be sitting here bored. And then I was like, don't think about it. You just did your budget. It did not include a pet.
I can't imagine you with a pet.
No, me either. It was a night. I'm over it, just so you know.
You're over it. That's
Nobody
good.
worry.
Last night on this video that we're making,
Mhm.
they asked like what they were asking, like what each other's best and worst trait was.
Okay.
And he said that I was really stubborn. And then they, of course, he could come up with a really good example of something negative about me. But he said that I'm very stubborn. They said, give an example. He said, well, I said I didn't want to have any dogs. And now we have 3.
That's a really good example.
Like, oh, well, I guess mama gets what she wants. Yeah. But when they asked what was my best quality was, I'm nice. So that's nice to know.
Well, you are nice.
Oh, come on. I said, that's what you write in the yearbook of the person that sat next to you in biology. You're very nice.
You're such a nice person.
Yeah, he's never going to live that one down because they kept pressing him. Well, like, well, what's nice about her? Well, she's just nice. Like, oh God, I'm going to kill him. So he
Wouldn't be
left
very
there.
nice.
That was like the 4th round. We had to do 4 rounds, and that was on the 4th round. He's like, almost made it through the whole thing, and then it all fell apart on the 4th round.
Oh my God. So
But when they start pressing me, I can't think of anything. Well,
yeah.
It's funny that you thought of my negative quality, but anyway, that's just,
Well, you can't help what's top of mind.
It's like you could have said I was funny or I was good in bed or something, but no, I'm nice. But it's nice to know that I'm nice, I guess. So
You're still not over that, are you?
no, I will never be over that.
Well,
And
that's
he
because
will never hear the end of it. So at least until he publicly says what my good qualities are, he can fuck off.
Okay. So pretty soon we'll be having a guest appearance from Dave to share what Cheri's nice qualities are, good qualities.
Now,
And then if he comes on and says, well, she's nice. Oh my God, I would pay him to do that.
now I said about him that he was the kindest person that I know.
Oh,
So that's kind of like saying he's nice, but it's not really. It's like he is kind, like he has a very kind heart. So
yeah.
Anyway, so last week we talked about social media.
Yeah.
And trying to break the social media addiction. And I can see that Andy did not do his homework assignment by the look on his face. But really kind of what I did this week more than anything was tracked my use every day.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really sure like where I fell in. And if I'm going to like limit it, I kind of need to know where I'm starting.
That's a good point. Yeah, because if you don't.
I couldn't find like a read of like a chart or anything. It was just like how much I used each day. It would tell me.
Yeah, that's what I found on
how much I used yesterday.
I couldn't click on a thing and see last week in review and then this week.
And I did. I'm hesitant to install an app after what happened last week when I did. So I just like looked every day, and so it looks to me that I should, number one, let Nipsey out of this room and go out to the barking room. But I was like really disturbed actually by what I found. Are you ready?
Yes.
So this is just social media alone. And this does not include my tablet.
Okay.
My phone that I carry around with me. 4 to 6 hours a day. That does not include, like watching movies or anything like that. What?
No, I just looked at mine and it just.
Oh.
Anyway.
What's yours?
Well, and mine's a little skewed. I got to figure it out because because I need to not play hypnosis stuff on my phone because
Oh,
um so it says TikTok. Mine, I did find a weekly report, and on
see it.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, where do you find that?
On well, if I go back if I click the three little bars up to the
Oh, yeah.
right up there next to the little search thing, I
Oh,
went to a weekly report. I just now saw that.
okay, cool.
But the other night I fell asleep listening to this hypnosis thing on TikTok that was like
Yeah,
a 6-minute
that's,
video.
oh,
And I
it
don't know
was
how
on TikTok?
it was on TikTok like all
Oh,
night
so
long.
it just goes over and,
Just
oh,
kept looping the
God.
same video. And I really like listening to this guy's stuff. I've listened to a lot of his stuff. So I didn't mind like if that like, you know, like sometimes I go on there just to find his thing and listen to
Mhm. Is he on YouTube?
he doesn't have very much on YouTube. Most
Oh,
of his stuff is on
okay.
TikTok.
All right.
But and I've had a couple times where I've played an overnight thing on YouTube. So I thought, well, I could play the overnight things on my TV, but I'd have to hook my laptop up to the TV. Well, I could just put it on my laptop because you can do TikTok on your laptop. Um, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do that very much. But anyway, so mine is showing like average daily 10 hours and 9 minutes, but I don't know what to back out for sleep time, you know? But I will say that I
I
have
would
been,
say though, no, because that TikTok is social media.
yeah,
Because like
and
I don't count like if I'm watching Hulu or something like that, like
this is just total screen time on my phone.
right.
And then it shows YouTube, TikTok, and Chrome are my top three apps. That's really all it shows me. Um, so, I mean, I can practice getting that down to less average time on my phone. I do know that there were days where I did a good job at first, like the first few days of not checking in just to check in and really going on with purpose. And then I kind of fell off of that the last couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Or getting busy with things. And actually part of it too is in the last week, I've had some crap going on that has not given me downtime to just fill with things. And one of the things that I am actually better about is when there's a lot going on, it forces me to focus. And then when
Right.
the whole idle hands are the devil's playground thing, like as soon as there's not a demand for activity, it's like, oh, I can do whatever for 4 hours.
Right. Now, this is my weekly report. Says I was on Facebook 8 hours and 46 minutes.
Okay.
Messenger 4 hours and 18 minutes. How am I on Messenger for 4 hours?
Yeah.
But I guess so. But I mean, Facebook is my biggest one that causes me problems.
Mm-hmm.
People flip me shit on Facebook, or if I'm depressed, I'm looking through Facebook. Like that's my problematic app. I don't feel like anything else I look at
Yeah.
really makes me feel bad about life.
Have
So
you
I guess I really need to concentrate on Facebook.
have you ever uninstalled any of the apps like from your phone so you can only do them on one device or the other? Or I've done that before, but not lately.
No, but then, yeah, I mean, you could just go facebook.com and just get on there.
Yeah, it just forces, if you have to do an extra step, it's like that 1 second thing, like makes you
There's a
think.
lot of steps that I go to get to Facebook because my like screens are just a mess. Like I don't have everything where it's easy to get to.
Yeah. Now,
Always like scrolling through.
did I show you how I loaded my folders in my phone with affirmations? So I
No.
titled them, like I have a folder for all my social media and it says I am an influencer. Or before I had to say I am connected. And then like all of my bank and insurance and all that, all those apps are in a folder and it says I am wealthy. And then
Oh,
I have all of my little tools and stuff are in one that says I am productive. And then my email and all that stuff is another one that says I am focused.
that's cool.
And then and then I have one that says I am fun, and that has like, ways and like apps for like hobbies and stuff. So
That's
I saw that somewhere where someone's like, oh, someone labeled their things. Because I used to have it say things like like my social media one used to say social meth. This was my reminder that it's an addiction.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't really like the way that sounds, but if I use it as like I'm an influencer or I'm connected, then maybe it'll remind me that when I go on there to be sure that I'm using it for connection or to be an influencer and not just to waste time.
Right. So really like I was like I was doing all this through an article that I read, and the next thing that they talked about, which is like what I wanted to touch on for this week,
Yes,
is to avoid using social media when you're feeling down.
that's a really good point.
So, it's just like it can be a trigger. Try to do so if you're feeling down. So because Facebook is my devil, whatever,
Hmm.
I really am going to have to just tell myself every time I will go to get on it. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah,
Why are you getting on?
that's good.
And then if I feel really bad, it says other things, talk to a friend, go for a walk, listen to music, whatever. If you're feeling anxious, do one of those other things instead. I don't know what that is. So that's my goal for this week. Last week, it was just kind of be mindful of how long I was on and try to reduce the amount of time.
Yeah.
This week, it's going to be, do you really need to be doing this? Can you be doing something else? Because for me, I think as far as mental health goes, if I'm just feeling like I need to be doing something, I can play my skip bow game or one of my games rather
Mhm.
than go on Facebook.
Yeah, because I have had times where I will be like, well, this isn't any worse than me playing a video game or me doing like if I'm just wasting time, but I'm wasting time here, is that any worse than if I were a gamer or if I were doing any other hobby or zoning out
Right.
watching Netflix? But if it is bringing down how you feel, then it really is
Or
not
if
bad.
I'm going there because I already feel bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be mindful of my mood.
I had this exercise that I did when I very first saw the therapist before the one I have now, who I loved as well, but he moved on to a different um, line of work. And but it was before I came out, and I was just starting therapy with him. And one of the first exercises he had me do is he gave me a calendar, and it was just a 1 week thing with like hours of the day, and it was like, I just want you to take this for the next week and every day track what you do, and then at the end of the day say how you feel that day. Do you feel good? Do you feel energized? Do you feel groggy? Do you feel crappy? Whatever. Just
Right.
not trying to do anything, just tracking what you did all week. And then the next week he says, okay, well, now the next step is going to be to take the days where you look better and look at the things that you were doing those days. And for me, it was, oh, I actually got to go for a walk outside, or I, sat down and got some writing done in a coffee shop. I was able to get some of that stuff done. And he says, well, now if those were the things that were happening on the days that you felt good, let's make sure and schedule those into every day, whether it's 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Just like try to purposely get the things that are making you feel good into your day. And it just really raised my awareness around what activities I was doing and what that was producing for a mood, and really made me realize how much power I had to then recreate that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Right.
always, but
Right. Well, I found, with the weather being nice now,
yeah.
makes such a difference. And I'm not getting any exercise when I do it, but when I go out for a scooter ride and I'm just out in the air in the sun, I mean, except for the sunburn,
Hmm.
um, I feel really damn good
Yeah. Oh yeah, it feels good. Just even
outside.
I've been riding around, I have the sunroof now, so I've been riding around with the sunroof down, the windows down, and I'm just like, I am loving this. And I've been trying to walk where I can, but I don't I would have walked to work more, but I don't want to walk home late at night with my laptop. And just I don't feel uncomfortable walking home at night, but I don't want to haul all that valuable stuff around either. I don't want
Right.
to
Right.
ask for a problem, but
I know.
so especially when it's my only computer and it's my business and everything is in it.
Right.
It's not just that it's an electronic thing. It's like I babysit that like you wouldn't believe. So
Yeah. I'm sorry. Ugh. Man, I fell asleep in the chair earlier. I've been watching there's a lot of stuff out about the Menendez brothers right now. And then there's I think it's on Peacock. There's a thing about Menudo and Menendez, how the Menendez father that raped his two sons also raped a bunch of people in Menudo, that group of like young Mexican boys or whatever that sang songs. And yeah, so they were just talking about the two different stories, but a lot of it is in Spanish and subtitles. And I
I've heard
started just reading it. I started getting groggy, so I missed the end of it. So
yeah, I've heard of the Menendez name, but I didn't know what was going on there. I'll have to get caught up, I guess.
yeah, they killed their parents,
Oh,
and
that's that one. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
A long
and
time ago, and then they got out recently or something.
they had a trial. I don't think no, I don't think so. They
But
had a
didn't it happen a
trial.
while back, like when they were younger, now they're older?
Yeah, they're way older. They had two trials. The first trial was like declared a mistrial, and then they had to have another trial. Well, it turns out that if they had gone by the first one, they'd be out by now. They would have been out.
Gosh.
And so people are just like really finding out that what their story was really true, that their dad just raped them all their lives and he was a horrible human being.
So awful.
And so, it's kind of, people are kind of like, let the guys out, I mean,
Yeah.
It's not like they're some career criminals or anything. It was a bad, horrible thing. And let's,
Well, they never had a chance from the time they were. Like,
yeah.
That's awful.
So anyway, so that has been kind of interesting. But anyway, I fell asleep in the chair and my shoulders been bothering me and my legs been bothering me. And then I woke up from a nap and now my back hurts.
Now, if you fall asleep watching something like that, does that affect your dreams or your mindset while you're sleeping?
No.
Okay.
Now, I think Dave doesn't like it because of that, how it makes him feel, and he doesn't want to have nightmares and stuff. But I can remember sleeping in my bed in my old house before I got married, and I'm like, there was a show called The Most Evil or something like that, and they would it was episodes about the most evil serial killers, and I'd be sleeping, and I wake up and go like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, I know this one, and then wake up, it's Ted Bundy now. Like, it didn't bother me at all, so.
Maybe condition yourself. Because I've heard that, and maybe that's part of why you're fascinated with them to a degree, but I've heard that, and I don't know which one came first, the fascination or the shows, but what I've heard that what we spend the last 45 minutes of reading or processing or paying attention to is what our brain spends most of its time while we're sleeping processing. So if you're worked up about a situation or you're watching TV or whatever, that's kind of the mindset that your brain stays in while you sleep. And so that's with the social media. One of the things that I've really focused on is not watching reels before I fall asleep, not, really not having social media be the thing that I do the last hour before I go to bed. And I haven't quite gotten to that yet because I'll kind of forget. And it's like, oh crap, I meant to not get on there. And that's one thing I'd like to do is where it's like, well, I want it to be like, nope, I'm done with this. Now my bedtime ritual is read, wind down, whatever. Maybe watch something positive if I want to watch something in that light. But
I watch old sitcoms on my tablet before I go to sleep. Like right now, I'm on Cheers.
Okay.
I'm going through all the episodes of Cheers, which I watched when they were out, but that's not one that I've watched. Like, Friends I've watched on repeat over and over, but not Cheers.
Well, and people don't remember that we didn't used to be able to rewatch at will. We'd have to wait for the rerun to come back on in the summer. And then you might not see that rerun again for years.
I know Dave said to me last night, oh, I was just in Andrew's room and your favorite episode of Friends is on, the one where Joey and Ross take a nap together. I love that episode. It's my favorite. And I'm like, oh, I should turn the TV on. He goes, well, I think it's almost over. And then I was like, Oh, I can go to HBO and just
I
watch
can
that
watch it anywhere,
episode
anytime I want, right?
anytime. Yeah, so
Isn't it funny though when you see a movie come on like regular TV where it's like it's playing now and you're like, oh, I should watch this now. And even if you start partway through, even though you'd have the option if you wanted to, it just seemed more fun.
guess what I watched the other day, Andy?
What did you watch the other day? Huh.
The Shining.
Oh, yeah, I still have not seen
I
that.
watched it again, and it was really interesting because I watched it like while I was just doing stuff around the house, and I just carried my tablet with me watching it. And it
Mhm.
was like, it's a 2.5 hour movie.
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
I'm watching, and I'm like, wonder how far and when I checked to see how far in I was, I had been watching it for an hour and a half. Did not seem like it at all.
Wow.
It's
I'm gonna have to
still,
watch
it's still a good movie.
that. So, what's the best thing you ate this week?
I gotta remember to eat good things. Today I had some what do you call them? Yellow curry fried
Okay.
rice.
Okay.
It was hot and spicy. It was good.
Yum.
Best thing you had.
Well, I had yesterday there was a food truck down the road from Otter, and I walked over and got it was Boss Mama's Kitchen. So it's a big like purple and green and yellow truck says BMK on the side. Boss Mama's Kitchen. It's delicious food. They've got amazing burgers. Fries were great. They have those like crinkly kind of fries. Super nice. There were 3 ladies working in there, and they were all awesome. But I kind of wish I would have gotten a burger because I've never had their burgers before, but I just wasn't that hungry. And so I was like, oh, I almost just got fries, but I got fries, and they have this like 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich, which was delicious. It was delicious. I would get it again, but the burgers, I was like, damn, now I really wish I would have tried one of their burgers. But it was a weird time because it was before trivia started, and I wasn't quite hungry, but I knew I was going to be hungry before they were going to be gone. So I wanted to go get the food. And then it's like, if you get that kind of food, you don't want to you can't let it sit and then eat it later. So, I next time I will definitely get one of their burgers. But yeah, it was really good. So I highly recommend Boss Mama's Kitchen. I see them all around Tacoma at different events and stuff, but they've got a website. You can find out where they're going to be.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, it's been lovely catching up with you.
It has been a pleasure, Cheri. I just, I can't wait to hang out with you on Monday. And I'm sure everybody that's listening is going to go on to Bubble Wrap Comedy and secure your tickets for the show, because that's going to be a fun show. And it's celebrating Cheri's birthday.
Yay, it'll be fun.
We'll get a cupcake. Maybe I'll even have time to make us some cupcakes.
All right. Well, bye.
Bye-bye.